here it is. The Howden's kitchen. It's amazing. I like Howden's kitchens. I fitted a fair few of them now, and the products are always really good. The carcasses are great, the leg system's great. I like Howden's kitchens. I think they're great, and they're very straightforward to fit as well. That is if you're a kitchen fitter. But yeah, some people don't like them. That's up to them. I do like them. So
we had a Howden's kitchen in our old house, didn't we? And
I think it's nice.
It was easy to fit. And did they come pre-assembled like this? I don't even remember.
It's optional. I like the pre-assembled carcass because it's just, you can spend a day or a day and a bit sometimes putting a kitchen together. Howden's all comes pre-built. It's great. And the leg system is brilliant on these.
The only thing we have realised is we hadn't grouted the floor yet. So we're going to have to move all this, grout the floor.
Do it in the morning. We'll shift everything into the lounge and then grout the floor. And then plus I can leg everything up in there, as I mean, like put all the legs on the carcasses, get everything. I can basically get everything in an order. I could probably lie it out in there in the order that I'm going to bring it in. So it's good in a way that we have to do that to the floor. And the way me and Joe did it, we're making our own dry mix that we brushed in and then we wet it in. That's what we're going to do tomorrow. Well, I've got a right sweat on. I just moved all the kitchen from in there to in here so that me and Becky can uncover the floor and point it all. And while that was done, I was just gonna then put all the legs on the kitchen. And then just a phone call out of the blue that Desi, he's like, listen, I'm coming. I'll be there in 20 minutes, get that wall wet. We're just going for it. So I had to move all the kitchen back out. And we've just dispersed it wherever we can because we're not gonna give up on the opportunity of Desi coming and doing the white magic on the wall, the ready brick.
Morning, everybody. So yesterday, after Desi left, and I had basically made a right mess of the pointing in the kitchen. Oh God, I don't even want to go in there today and see how much cleaning up there is to do. But anyway, I came back in the caravan, and the little kitten, we've kind of named him Hugo, but I don't know if that was going to stick. We always give our foster kittens just a name, so we know who we're talking about, and it's handy at the vets as well. And he'd been absolutely fine. Well, actually no, he hadn't been absolutely fine. A few days ago, he'd started having terrible diarrhoea, and his bottom was red, raw, bleeding. He was clearly in a lot of discomfort, so I took him to the vets, and the vet decided to give him a enema. She also said he was probably about 4 weeks, which is what we thought, very young. And they were going, his temperature was a little bit high, nothing's to worry about though, it was on the border. So they kept him in after his enema for a couple of hours, and then rang and said he's absolutely fine, he's passed a lot of poop, he's solids now, because she was worried he might have a blockage and wanted to clear him out. So she gave him some antibiotics, and we were sent home, picked him up, and everything was fine, absolutely fine that night, absolutely fine yesterday morning. And then I went out with Sam, was doing all that with Desi and Sam, and then I came back in, and I thought, he's not moved very much, and he does sleep a lot because he's young, but he wasn't really, he was in a weird position, and I thought, that's odd. And I picked him up and he was just limp, and my heart just sank, and I thought, oh my God. And I knew he was in a really bad way. He was totally unresponsive, breathing, shallow, rapid breathing. Yeah, it was terrible, awful moment. So I rang them, it was Saturday night, 7:15. So I rang the emergency vet, and he met me at 7:45, and he said to me, I think it's parvo. And I was thinking, God, I don't think, my first thought was, really? But he'd put that 2 and 2 together because the kitten felt very, very hot. He was very hot to touch. And also he'd obviously seen that there'd been diarrhoea previously. But I said to him, are you sure it's parvo? And he didn't take his temperature, and he said, oh, yeah, I think it is, because he's had diarrhoea. And I said, yeah, but that's kind of subsided, and he's passing solids yesterday, and he's had no vomiting, no kind of the other symptoms of parvo, and I just don't know. Anyway, he said to me, I think we should just put him to sleep, or he said I can give him some subcutaneous fluids, and you can just take him home and see what happens. And it was just the worst feeling in the world. And Ewan was in there with me, and he was really upset. And anyway, he took his temperature, and it was 39.5, which was up since it was yesterday, which was 39.3, or the day before was 39.3. And I just thought, no, I felt like, no, I'm not going to put him to sleep. I don't know whether still this is the right decision or not. So I brought him back here, and he'd had his subcutaneous fluids. He gave him another antibiotic, I think it was. And then last night I was up till about 1:30, and I was just kind of, the vet told me to give him some kind of diorolite or similar, and also maybe some sort of glucosey type. So he said maybe honey dissolved in water. So I was up every sort of hour giving him fluids, his diorolite, some honey and water, and he just felt like he was going downhill about 1:30 in the morning. I just thought, I just don't think it's going to last much longer. He was he'd gone from being a little bit, you could wake him slightly, to nothing. And I just thought, his breathing was a bit slower. I thought, this is the end now. And and then Isabella took over because I was absolutely exhausted, and I woke up this morning, and he's still here. He's still with us. his breathing seems a little bit better. I don't want to get my hopes up too much because he's so young and you just don't know what's going to happen. Keeping our fingers crossed. I'll just update you, but yeah, that is where we're up with little Hugo. See what happens. Fingers crossed he makes it through today. I think if he makes it through today, he's got a fighting chance. First 24 to 48 hours, I'd say, are the most critical.
So I'm conscious of staying out of the plumber's way this morning. Just leave him to it. He's doing a cracking job. The taps are going on. He's nipped off to get some at the minute, so I'm just contained in this corner at the minute. Got all my lasers set up. It's weird. You can tell I've been out the game for a while. I used to be a lot quicker, but it is what it is. It's got to be right. It's got to be right. So I'm actually using, I don't know if you've ever seen these with the gun, and these super duper fixings. Having had a conflab with my other kitchen fitting friend Dom, and looking at videos about which plasterboard anchor fixings are the best, it's these bad boys. So I've had a few little tests on plasterboards, and they are solid. I'll use them all the time now, and I'm probably not puncturing the VCL with them neither, because it goes in, you click it, and it'll star shape it on the back. So anyway, the stud finder I've got is great, so I will get fixings into the solid stud as well, but obviously my little anchor plates at the top that hook the units on, they want to be solid. I need to be able to, basically, I like to be able to pull really hard. You know, you don't ever want a kitchen unit falling down. But yeah, I have got some super solid points. I used it, but I like to just see the timber. So I know I've got studs that are solid. So I know I'm getting 100% solid fix into 4x2. But it's going all right. You have to be very accurate with wall units, because once you've drilled them plates, you can't put a hole next to a hole. Ewan's outside mowing, he loves it, before the rain comes. So anyway, I'm going to carry on, stay out of the plumber's way, because he's doing some magic here. I did have this unit fitted, the 200 unit, but he's doing some other different stuff with the pipes, so. And he has been in there. Nearly done, look, sneaky peek. The waste is in position. Part of the tap system is going on. Becky's gonna be over the moon. So, yeah, it's going just nice, calm, steady, methodical. Get these wall units up. If we can get all the base units in and wall units up, that's the skeleton of the kitchen. The rest is just pure cosmetic. Just getting these bits in, perfect. I'm happy that the corner section, carousel, pull-out units, absolutely spot on. So I know you can adjust doors, but if you get it absolutely spot on, you'll be doing minimal adjusting. Otherwise, if you just chuck it in, you will have problems trying to get those doors right. So something I've never done. The very first thing you do in a kitchen will dictate the very last thing you do. So getting the first unit and everything corner, I work from corners, and everything works off it. Becky's happy with the position of her plate rack. I didn't get it on camera, but I've sort of held it up in position there so that she can reach it, and that dictates every other aspect of the wall units. It's gonna look great. It's gonna look great. I will show you. Can't wait to show you. Can't wait to see it in. Get these units in, and I'll be happy.
got to do the window because I'm going to struggle when I put my low line units in at the top. It'd be too much reach, it'd be awkward and heavy. let them dry out here in the wind. Get over something else in the kitchen. And when they're dried off, I'll fit them. Apparently, I've spoken to the camera yesterday, but none of the audio come out. So hopefully this is coming out. I think either 2 of the batteries or 1 of the batteries is done on this camera, because I'm sort of in the zone and then I turn around and the camera's not on, and I'm like, oh. So you just missed me putting that in with all this craziness going on. It's not usually a way to do base units, but it's the way for this to do it, so that everything lines in with the doors and the plinths. So sorry, you missed that bit. It's not, I'm just going to leave it now, just let that go off. It's Insta-Stick, and that goes off solid in about 10 minutes. Bit of a batten at the back there. The windowsills are what they are because the stone, and it's quite impossible to get them perfectly level. You just won't, so you just got to do your best. And it's more about how it looks rather than the level. So it looks level, but it's not. I'm sure Becky will understand. I asked Dara anyway, the electrician, I said, what do you think? And he was like, yeah, it looks good, looks good. I said, right, well, Dara told me to stick it. So anyway, let's let that go off. I can cut the tops sort of how I want. They're just chucked on at the minute. They're not treated, it's solid oak. They're beautiful. So while that's going off, I'm going to cut that and just get it right. But yeah, I'm waiting for the sink. So when the sink comes, then I can do the proper cutout and everything. But still got the cornice, helmets to do, got the plinths to do. It's going well. And then I'll get onto the island. The camera was doing its weird thing again, so you missed this bit. But yeah, it was like cut. There's a 2mm difference from the front to the back. I actually used my digital measurer because I just couldn't get it with a tape, and you don't want to cut that wrong, but I think that's beautiful. The joints have come out absolutely. Ooh, spot the dog. So yeah, chuffed to that. Obviously there's no oil on them yet. Let's cut the next one. You have to be so accurate, especially with oak. Everyone loves the smell of oak. It's great. Probably not good for you, but it's great. I think that's perfect. I'll bring you in a minute. trusty little bit of sandpaper.
I remember rubbing some hardwood once, like I just got a splinter in there then, but I was rubbing it and it went in and then it sort of come out the other side of my palm and I was like, oh, it was on a door, and I was in the van messing with it for ages and I just pulled a bit out and I was like, no. And I showed the lady, the customer, and she was like, that's really big. It was about 1.5 inches. And so I went to the doctors and said, can't the nurse just do something? Oh no. Went to A&E. I had to have the gas and air, which was crazy. And yeah, it was massive. And she said, there's no way you would have got it. When she pulled it out, it was 1.5 inches. Dangerous hardwood. But that's it. Voila. Just the sink one. I'm just going to cut it to length, the sink one. Just bring it over because we've ordered the sink. I bet that spotlight's driving everybody crazy. But is it pulsing? I hope not. Yeah, I'm just going to cut this to width, same as that side, and leave the tops at that. Then I'm happy. And I'm gonna have a mess with this rack at the top. Get that fitted, and then the plinths. Voila, worktops. So that's 610mm. The island is made up with back-to-back wall panels. So the little bit at the back of the wall panels, I'm actually going to have to rail saw off 15mm off the back so that I can get them to come together, so that I have a 10mm overhang either end. Failing that, it would have been getting a 650 depth worktop. So did a bit of maths earlier and I think it will work, so I'm going to do that in the morning. I'm going to order another length and the sink, because it's proving hard to get. So love it. Becky's going to have another little weep when she comes in. I'll get these handles on. Going to get that 200 door on because I've been ignoring it, and then the plinths.
The kitchen, this side is in. It's maybe I'll turn this light off. Let's see. Seems to be wreaking havoc with cameras, that light. Maybe we need a different light. So yeah, the sink and that's coming in a week. And an extra piece of worktop. Becky is going to oil the top because, as you can see, the tone difference is awesome. So yes, I'm chuffed with that. Looks very, very neat, very nice. So now it's time for the island.
Hi everybody, so Sam has just nipped off. He's gone to the garage to get our car fixed. We are literally on our third car since January. We are just having no luck with vehicles at the moment. I feel like we just keep buying duds and yeah, it's just an absolute nightmare. But anyway, I'm just so amazed with how well Sam, this is Sam's comfort zone, fitting kitchens. He used to do a lot of kitchen fitting. And he loves Howden kitchens and he finds them really straightforward to do, and he's been in his comfort zone and been here till nearly midnight the past few nights doing it. Bless him, he must be absolutely shattered, but he gets up and cracks on again. I've had a few little cries over it. It's been very, very emotional to see things like the bath with the taps, silly things, like it's crazy having taps on the bath, the shower fittings in. Yeah, I mean the water's not turned on yet. We've got to wait because the radiators need to go on in the lounge, and he couldn't quite do that, the plumber, until we finished the lounge. So we've got to wait now for another worktop to come for the island and the sink to come, which is hopefully coming next Wednesday. Over the weekend, Sam and I are going to put the final coat of plaster over the top of the lime plaster in the lounge. We need to paint the lounge ceiling, then we can finish the flagstones off into the lounge, and then the plumber can come back and put the radiators in there, and then fingers crossed we might have had an electric switch on soon, you never know. See how fast ESB come. I just wanted to mention quickly, because I know a few people might be wondering about this area here. So when we were in the CAD design with Howden's, when we were giving the CAD designer the measurements, she was like, "What? Really? Is that?" Because the window is really low. And when we were rebuilding their stone outside, we decided not to make the windows higher because it altered so much the appearance of the cottage, and we didn't want to do that. So we're having to work around a very low window. So normally you would perhaps have the sink there. Well, that's not going to work because it's so low. So we're having to put the sink over to the left there. And my kind of rough plan is to turn it into a window seat. So I'm going to have a nice cushion. Either I'll make it, or see if my sewing skills are up to it. A nice padded window seat cushion with some nice throw cushions at the back. Just somewhere nice to chill and sit. And then the island here will be an extra bit of worktop that I would have lost there, which is just too low to make that really a viable worktop option. So that's why we've got the island, and we've kind of squeezed it in it works really well. I sometimes think the camera makes things look small. The amount of people when they come here after the scene was on camera and they say, gosh, it's bigger than how it appears on camera. Trust me, it feels fine with the island. We were worried it wouldn't, but it does. It feels great, and there's plenty of room to move around and open the doors. We've made sure of that. But the island worktop, as I say, won't be coming till next week. So we're probably going to have to leave it there this week and show you the finished result next Saturday. And fingers crossed as well, finishing off in the lounge. So yeah, it's very, very exciting. And hopefully as well next week, maybe at some point, the internal doors will be coming, which is really exciting. And we've got French doors coming, glazed ones that go between the lounge and the kitchen, so we can close the two areas off. And yeah, it's so amazing to see a kitchen. Honestly, I've cried a few times this week. I've come in when Sam's working and gone, oh, I'm crying. I'm just amazed by it. It looks absolutely good. I'm so happy with it. We haven't got the fridge freezer yet. That's going to go over on that wall there. And then obviously the utility room will have the dishwasher, washing machine and dryer will be in the utility room. That pocket there is for a dishwasher, just a small slimline one. I mostly wash things up by hand, but it's handy just to have now and again. So we've gone with a smaller one just to not take up too much space, but we haven't got that yet. Yeah, so I hope that kind of clears up any confusion that anyone might have had about what's going on here and why we've done what we've done. But before I go, I know a few people are probably wondering how the kitten's getting on. And the good news is the kitten has made a full recovery. He is like back to normal. By Monday night, it was like nothing had ever happened. So strange. I definitely don't think it was parvo, and I am very definitely glad that I did not let that vet on Saturday night put him to sleep. He's absolutely full as bright as a button, full of beans, eating, going to the bathroom, absolutely fine. So fingers crossed it was just a little blip, and maybe he got a little bit of a virus after his enema, maybe a bit of a bacterial infection, I don't know, but he's definitely made a full recovery, and I'm not really sure he's going to be going anywhere. Sam and the kids have told me that they want him to stay, so who am I to say no? So I think he's going to be staying. We're still torn on names, so if anyone's got any good names for him, then pop them in the comments. I'm always interested to hear of any good name choices. So yeah, all ends on a good note and an amazing, almost fully fitted kitchen. Thanks for watching, thanks for supporting us, and yeah, we'll see you next Saturday. Bye for now.